Today, I'm going to explain the movie Wonderful Nightmare, released in the year 2015. At the start of the movie, a girl named Yeon Woo narrates her disastrous childhood. She reveals that her father died when she was an infant and her mother died shortly after, as she couldn't bear the loss of her husband. This left Yeon Woo all alone, but she made a promise to herself that she would never depend on anyone and become a successful person. In the next scene, we're taken to the present, where Yeon Woo has managed to deliver on her promise and become a successful lawyer. She earns 6 figures annually and has the confidence to take on any critical case. One day, she's approached by the chairman of a wealthy company, the HK Group. Turns out that the man's son recently assaulted a girl, and now he wants Yeon Woo to defend him. Despite knowing that the boy is guilty, Yeon Woo takes the case, as she's promised a large sum of money. During the trial, she threatens the victim's parents that she will defame their daughter if they don't back up. Hearing this, the parents become terrified, and they eventually drop the case after realizing that they don't have the finances to continue it. Impressed by her work, the chairman assigns Yeon Woo another task. He asks her to clear the slums from a nearby area so that he can build some commercial apartments there. Before Yeon Woo can reply, he offers her a luxurious BMW and a VVIP Platinum card. Hearing this, Yeon Woo immediately accepts the job. Later, Yeon Woo arrives at her lavish apartment where she lives alone. Here, we get to see that she's made a fortune out of her work. After a while, she takes her new car and heads to the place where she's preserved her parents' memories. On her way back, while she's driving at a high speed, a cat suddenly appears in front of her. She swerves her car dangerously, and as a result, it hits the roadside railings. In the next scene, when Yeon Woo wakes up, she finds herself in heaven. Confused, she immediately heads to the receptionist and shows her birth card. On checking the records, the receptionist finds out that there's been a mistake. Turns out that Yeon Woo was scheduled to die in 2054. She reports the blunder to the director of Heaven, Mr. Kim, and the latter apologizes to Yeon Woo for their mistake. He then offers Yeon Woo the life of a housewife named Kang till he rectifies the record. Yeon Woo immediately disagrees to live as a housewife, but when the director claims that it's the only way for her to return to Earth, she reluctantly agrees. Following this, Yeon Woo wakes up in a strange apartment, which seems to be of a middle-class family. She quickly gets up and checks the mirror, but starts screaming after looking at her appearance. Hearing this, her husband, Sung Hwan, arrives there, but she starts screaming even louder. After a while, Yeon Woo skims through some pictures of her wedding with Sung Hwan and realizes that she's there to replace Kang. To her dismay, she also gets to know that the couple have 2 kids, a teenage daughter, Ha Nul, and her younger brother, Ha Ru. Just then, the little boy approaches Yeon Woo and requests that she take him to the bus station so that he can go to school. Although hesitant, Yeon Woo obliges and takes her son to the bus station. After leaving him there, she proceeds to return home, but just then, Kang's friends approach her. They then forcefully take her to a part-time job, but Yeon Woo has no idea on how to work. Here, it's revealed that Yeon Woo's current family is suffering financially. Later, the ladies head to a restaurant and start conversing. There, they remind Yeon Woo about how she was married to Sung Hwan at the age of 18. This shocks Yeon Woo and she starts feeling uneasy. She immediately heads to the bathroom, and there she encounters Mr. Kim, who warns her not to change Kang's life. Instead, he suggests she adjust to her life as quickly as possible. Fed up with everything around her, Yeon Woo decides to live her life in a lavish way and heads to the supermarket. There, she collects some expensive food items, but when she proceeds to pay, the card hits its limit. At night, Sung Hwan approaches Yeon Woo and tries to make love with her. However, the latter becomes enraged and starts accusing him of marrying an underage girl and forcing her to have children. Here, she starts talking like a lawyer, and this stuns Sung Hwan. After the outburst, she decides to sleep alone and heads to the living room. The following day, Yeon Woo reaches her old apartment and retrieves the VVIP card that was gifted to her by the HK Group chairman. She then heads to a fancy clothing store and buys expensive clothes for herself. When it's time for the payment, Kang's name appears on the card instead of hers, and even the signatures don't match. As a result, the cashier starts doubting Yeon-woo as an imposter, but despite this, she lets her go. In the next scene, Sung-hwan returns home from work and approaches Yeon-woo. At first, he confesses that it was his mistake for marrying an underage girl, but then angrily reveals that it was Yeon-woo who forced him to do so. He then enters the bedroom and gets shocked to see the expensive clothes bought by Yeon-woo. Enraged, he tries confronting her about it, but right then, some police officers arrive and take her away. At the police station, the officers accuse Yeon-woo of stealing the VVIP card, but her husband stands up for her and starts explaining various sections of the law like a lawyer. Turns out that Sung-hwan went to the same school as Yeon-woo, but due to financial problems, he had to drop out in the middle. Sung-hwan then suspects that his good friend Kang might have slipped her card into his bag after finding out about his financial condition. Meanwhile, the officers are still unconvinced by the theory, but as they have no evidence, they're forced to let them go. Outside, Sung-hwan asks his wife if she's having an affair, but the latter denies it. Surprisingly, he believes it and rubs her head before leaving. This surprises Yeon-woo, as no one had ever rubbed her head affectionately like that. Just then, Mr. Kim appears out of nowhere and chastises her for nearly ruining a perfectly happy marriage within 48 hours. Before leaving, he warns her to maintain good relations with her family, or else he will take her back. In the next scene, Sung-hwan asks Yeon-woo to join him at the district office party. Yeon-woo is initially hesitant, but after she remembers Mr. Kim's words, she agrees right away. Later at the party, Yeon-woo dresses elegantly like she used to in her previous life, and seeing her, Sung-hwan is astounded. Soon, he introduces her to the chief district officer, and the trio engage in small talk. Sensing the opportunity, Sung-hwan starts pitching his plan of building a barrier around the subway. But just then, his boss Choi interrupts the conversation and refuses the plan. Instead, he suggests renovating the footpath as it would save money. At dinner, Yeon-woo supports her husband and tries convincing the district officer that a barrier wall should be built. She claims that the common people need it urgently, while renovating the footpath would be redundant as it's already in good condition. This enrages Choi, and he meets the couple after dinner. There, he makes fun of Sung-hwan for bringing his wife to defend himself. Sung-hwan doesn't respond to it, but when Choi calls his wife a bitch, he loses his cool and punches him hard in his face. Following this, the duo head to a bar to clear their minds. Sung-hwan has one too many drinks and gets emotional. He mentions that he can tolerate just about anything, but not his wife being insulted. He also mentions that he'll do whatever it takes to keep his family happy, regardless of their financial situation. This impresses Yeon-woo, and her opinion of Sung-hwan starts changing. Later at night, the couple returns home and Ha-ru sleeps with Yeon-woo while hugging her tightly. Yeon-woo also cannot resist it and hugs him back. The next morning, Ha-nul asks her mother for some pocket money, claiming that she wants it for school. Yeon-woo immediately agrees, but puts one condition, that the little girl must fold all the shopping bags. Hearing this, Ha-nul gets enraged and storms out of the room. But as she needs the money, she comes back the next day with the folded bags. This convinces Yeon-woo, and she hands her daughter a good amount of pocket money. After a while, Ha-nul meets her boyfriend Kyung at his house. As his parents are out, Kyung starts getting close to Ha-nul, but the latter backs off as she feels uncomfortable. Just then, Ha-nul spots a hidden camera and also finds Kyung's friend recording her. Terrified, she runs away from there, but Kyung pulls her hair and stops her. In the next scene, a devastated Ha-nul returns home early and slams the door. Yeon-woo is surprised by her daughter's unusual behavior, and when she enters the room to inspect, she's shocked to see bruises on Ha-nul's face. Worried, she pleads with her daughter about what happened, and Ha-nul finally reveals everything. This leaves Yeon-woo speechless, but she still manages to console her daughter. The following day, Yeon-woo takes Ha-nul to the principal's office, where Kyung and his lawyer are also present. Yeon-woo uses all her knowledge of law and starts explaining about the punishments that Kyung will face. However, Kyung's lawyer doesn't even defend Kyung and simply asks Yeon-woo to take the compensation and dismiss the matter. As soon as Yeon-woo hears this, she heads to the bathroom and cries, reminiscing about all the corrupt cases she handled when she was a lawyer. Here, we get to know that it was Kyung whose case Yeon-woo took over and won at the start of the movie. Meanwhile, Ha-neul comes looking for her and suggests they dismiss the case as they don't have the finances to continue with it. However, Yeon-woo is adamant on winning the case, so she grabs her daughter's hand and heads to the principal's room. There, the cunning lawyer again tries to manipulate Yeon-woo by mentioning that Kyung will not be affected by the incident, as he will be heading abroad shortly. However, Yeon-woo takes out her mobile phone and reveals that she has recorded everything. She then asserts that she will take the case to court and destroy Kyung's image as well as his career. This enrages Kyung and he starts berating Yeon-woo. However, she easily tackles him to the ground and forces him to apologize. Meanwhile, Ha-neul is shocked and proud at the same time to see her mother fighting for her. Following this, Yeon-woo starts doing all the household chores and enjoys her time with the kids. One day, Mr. Kim suddenly appears in front of her and reveals that she's going to die in a week. Yeon-woo begs Kim to not kill the kid's mother and make them alone, but Kim tells her that he cannot do anything about it. In the next scene, while Ha-ru is returning home with his mother after school, he suddenly falls unconscious. The parents immediately rush him to a hospital, and after some tests, the doctor reveals that Ha-ru is suffering from a hereditary disease that is causing eyesight problems. Yeon-woo then remembers her mother having the same symptoms and realizes that Ha-ru inherited it from her. The following day, as a distraught Sung-hwan and Yeon-woo are waiting for their son's operation result, Mr. Kim suddenly arrives there and takes Yeon-woo outside. There, he informs her that her death day has arrived and she will be dying in a car accident shortly. Mr. Kim then asks Yeon-woo to sit inside a car, but the latter replies that she wants to bid her family a final goodbye. Mr. Kim initially denies the request, but after Yeon-woo starts begging, he has no choice but to agree. With time running out, Yeon-woo rushes to the hospital ward and meets Ha-neul. She embraces her tightly and advises her to follow her dreams. Next, she enters Ha-ru's room with teary eyes and tells him that she will be going far for some time. Hearing this, the little boy also becomes emotional and asks his mother to come back soon. Yeon-woo doesn't reply to it and simply walks out. Finally, she meets Sung-hwan and asks him to take good care of the children. After this, she walks out of the place and fades away. In the next scene, Yeon-woo wakes up from her long coma and rushes to the hospital where Ha-ru was admitted. She cannot find Ha-ru there, not in their apartment and not on the school bus. The movie then fast-forwards by a month, where Yeon-woo decides to shift from her apartment and starts packing her belongings. While she's at it, she comes across an old photo book and starts going through it. Soon, she comes across a picture of herself with her mother, and when she unfolds it, she finds her father present too. Yeon-woo is taken aback as it's the first time she has seen her father. What's more surprising is the fact that her father looks exactly like Mr. Kim. After the revelation, Yeon-woo makes up her mind to visit New Zealand, as it's the place where her father passed away. The next day, as Yeon-woo is searching for her seat inside the plane, she notices Sung-hwan, Ha-neul, and Ha-ru. This makes her emotional, but she decides to not reveal about her previous life. Instead, she asks the little boy about why they're going to New Zealand, and the latter replies that his mother passed away a month back, so they're going on a holiday to clear their minds. The movie ends as Yeon-woo reveals that she's going to New Zealand to meet her father. That was all from the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more content like this, and hit the like button to help us out. Also, leave a comment if you want us to recap your favorite movie. Until next time, take care.